Good morning, all, and all respected dignitaries present here. 1 month back, I got a call from Dr. GSICON that you are the opening batsman. I felt little bit nervous for a few moments, but today, when I am talking in front of the giants of geriatrics, I feel rejuvenated and I am energetic to speak on the topic for which everybody is interested. That is the decoding of aging. Okay. Now, who doesn't want to live long? Everybody wants to live long. Anyway, but so age is an issue of mind over matter. If you don't mind, it doesn't matter. That is by Mark Twain. And you are only as old as you feel. So, what is the definition of aging? That is by Richard Miller. And aging is a biological process that is characterized by time dependent cellular and functional decline, resulting in a reduced quality of life for the organism. Now, there are two most important problems to overcome during the aging. That is, one is increasing loss of physical and cognitive function and increasing susceptibility to varieties of morbid conditions. So, three important milestones in aging research. There are a lot of research has been done in aging, and we have come across three important things. That is, restricting calorie increases the longevity. Oxygen radicals are produced in vivo, and they are continuously damaging our cells. And when human fibroblasts are grown in culture, they have also got a finite lifespan. That means fibroblasts also are not immortal. They all cells has to die one day. Why invest in basic aging and research? The longevity dividend. Now, the increasing the lifespan increases the incidence of disease and disability, leading to more crippled society. So, if you live for 100 years, after 80 years with a crippled persons like having 5 diseases, blood pressure, diabetes, microinfections like that, that doesn't carry any meaning. So, the aim should be to increase the health span. You should be healthy during your aging period. Now, classification aging, there are chronological age, biological aging, psychological aging, social aging, cognitive aging. And what are the theories regarding aging? There are so many theories. One is biological theory. That is, age is predetermined. You are destined to live as much as it is predetermined. Run out of program, limited genetic materials that runs out of program. All genetic material deteriorates. Genetic theory, that is harmful genes activated over time, leading to aging. Molecular theory, aging is controlled by genetic materials. Cellular theory, focus on neuroendocrine system. Immunological theory, mitochondrial decline theory, and membrane theory of aging. You cannot stop yourself from aging, but you can slow aging process. This is called support, that is healthy aging and not anti-aging. Now, this is the slide showing the aging process. You can know that the genetic factor controls almost 25%, and most of our life is controlled by the lifestyle, environment, and other factors. So, if you control these things, your lifespan can be increased. That is also motivated by the reactive oxygen species and increasing and exchanging and your immune system. So, from the fetal life to adult life and aging, if the homeostasis is maintained, you can have a healthy life and your longevity will be there. And oxygen inflammation aging is a chronic oxidative state which leads to the damage to all the systems and leading to impaired homeostasis, morbidity, and these things, these antioxidants, lifestyle and environment lead to improve homeostasis and more better longevity. So you have to concentrate on these things. Now, this is the biological hallmarks of aging. You can see that so many factors are contributing to the aging process. What are the molecular mechanisms of signaling pathway? There are three molecular pathways, that is molecular level, cellular level, and systemic level. And genetic mechanism of aging, that is the complexity of aging is explained by oxidative stress theory, insulin-like growth factor signal hypothesis. This is most important. Somatic mutation repair mechanism, telomere hypothesis of cell solutions, that is also most important, and immune system mechanism and inherited mutations. So, what is the chromosomal gene mutation in aging? Genetic factors of human longevity and healthy aging remain still unknown. Some biological pathway associated with longevity, that is mutants with decreased signaling through IS pathway have extended lifespans, and dysfunctional damage repair of DNA also curtail the lifespan. Autophagy accelerates the aging. Chronic inflammation also increases or causes premature aging, and presence of ApoE4 allele that is present in the nervous system in the brain, that also is mostly responsible for Alzheimer's disease, that also decreases the lifespan. Now, what is the oxidative state and aging? You can see the ROS have deleterious effects on all components. Mitochondria is the major site of ROS. Mitochondrial DNA is unprotected, so it can be damaged, and mitochondrial DNA haplotypes are associated with the longevity. Deletion with mitochondrial DNA mutations accumulates in aging tissue. And ROS is also called free radicals. There are four main sources of ROS, that is mitochondrial electron transport chain, cytochrome P450 reactions, peroxidation of fatty acids, phagocytic cell, and recently new theory, that is skeletal muscle contraction, also produces the ROS. So the hydrogen peroxide generates hydroxyl radicals, which is most damaging member of the ROS. Now, ROS can induce apoptosis, and antioxidants breaks the ROS chain. Certain micronutrients like vitamin C, vitamin E, and beta carotene are potent antioxidants. Alpha lipoic acid, lycopene, curcumin, which is from the turmeric, have a potent antioxidant property. If mitochondrial damage is severe enough, subsequent repair is inadequate. And it has been seen that this aging is not a decline in age, but a decline in regenerating capacity. So in summary, the constant generation of ROS leads to molecular damage, which causes damage to subcellular organisms. As ROS generation commences from the formation of zygote, it can be argued that cellular aging begins from the conception. So your aging process starts from your birth. Now, aging and calcium homeostasis. Calcium plays an important role in aging also. Calcium channels, pumps, transporters, and intracellular buffering and binding proteins are also true. Calcium helps in synaptic release of neurotransmission. So, increase ROS generation and active nitric oxide synthesis, leading to cytotoxic cell death. So, the intracellular calcium should be maintained in a low level. If it is high, there will be ROS formation and damage. You can see this is the picture where the telomeres are the cap-like structure present in the chromosome. Now, this telomere is a repeated DNA sequence wrapped in specific protein complexes. These are synthesized by special enzyme called telomerase. And because most somatic cells do not express telomerase, when they divide, the length of the telomeric DNA gradually shortens. That is called Hayflick limit. That means at a one time the somatic cell has to die. And initial telomere length is mainly determined by genetic factors. Exposure to harmful environmental factors accelerates the telomere shortening, and telomerase is added. This DNA sequences repeats into the telomere and increases the lifespan of the telomeres. So telomere dysfunction generates chromosomal instability. Anti-telomerase therapy has been trialed in the cancers, and some germ cells, the cell division continues because the telomerase. Telomere length and telomerase activity can impact human health. Telomere shortens each time a cell divides, and high telomerase activity is considered as a biomarker of cancer. This diagram shows how the chromosome and the telomere has been affected by the so many factors like inflammation, loss of proteases, epigenetic regulation, stem cell exhaustion, like this. This is the diagram showing in young telomere and elderly telomere. When this cell division, DNA damage, inflammation, lifestyle, mental stress decreases the telomere length, whereas the telomerase and sex hormones, healthy lifestyle, physical increases the telomere length. So if there is telomerase reverse transcriptase gene therapy is given, the short telomere can become also long in the latter part. Now, cellular pathway is there is damage principally by membrane replete, proteins, nuclear mitochondrial DNA, intracellular signaling pathway. So, destructive agents of cellular aging are ultraviolet light, mostly solar radiation, mutagenic lesions, and protein damage, and plasma membrane lipids. Now, this cellular aging you can see is being influenced by so many factors: transcriptor regulator, telomerase function, AMPK, oxidative stress, and so many factors. So this is the picture showing how the cell is under stress and there is reduced repairing capacity. You can see there is oxidative damage, replication stress, telomere setting, all lead to cell death, whereas they are ultimately leading to altered function or reduced regeneration and loss of functional cells. This is the same thing already I have told you that there is a DNA repair, environmental insult, calorie restriction, all lead to cellular aging. The loss of proteostasis. Aging cells accumulate damaged and misfolded proteins through the functional decline in their protein hemostasis, that is called proteostasis. Three main indicators of aging are altered protein turnover, altered post-translational modification, protein aggregation, and loss of proteostasis by the two mechanisms, autophagy and ubiquitin protease system. Mitochondrial dysfunction uh, due to reduced ATP levels leads to elevated generation of ROS, shortfall in respiratory system. They promote apoptosis. This is the picture. You can see the aging, dysfunctional mitochondria, decline in mitophagy, mitochondrial protein, and there is the disformed respiratory chain system in the mitochondria where the ATP is generated and ultimately leading to cell death. Now, cellular senescence is an important factor. Cells divide limited number of times, and ultimately they are called replicative senescence. They do not produce a new DNA, but they do not die. They maintain metabolic activity. The primary cause of senescence are DNA damage and senescence associated secretory phenotype or SASP. This SASP secretes high levels of inflammatory cytokines, immune modulator, growth factors, and proteases. One irreversible cell cycle arrest triggered by the DNA damage. And this is the picture showing, as you have seen, cell senescence affected by the SASP, leading to inflammation, senescent immune cells, then again inflammation. Now, stem cell exhaustion. There occurs stem cell exhaustion in the elderly person. One of the main characteristics of aging is the decline in your body's capacity for tissue and organ regeneration. Now, it mostly occurs in the hemopoietic stem cells. They decrease lymphoid cell count, decrease adaptive immunological response, and increased risk of anemia. In the systemic level, there is deregulated nutrient synthesis, as we have seen the four pathway of nutrient synthesis like insulin-like growth factor 1, mTOR, sirtuin, and AMPK. We call them protein nutrient sensing. And this picture shows that the calorie restriction, decreased glucose free fatty ultimately lead to increased lifespan aging. So the less calorie you take, your lifespan will be more. There is a complicated mechanism involved in it. So you should, from today, practice of taking less calorie, less food, and do more exercise. Now, the signaling pathway plays an important role in aging. The two signal pathways which are more important is the insulin and insulin growth factor pathway and target of rapamycin pathway. Now, epigenetic alterations mostly mediated by the DNA methylation, histone modification, and the chromosomal remodeling. In other words, genes expression changes, but the gene gems themselves do not change. And this is also epigenetic. You see in young person having chromosome, which after histone protein modification leads to microRNA. But in older person, there is also modification of histone, and there is a multiple formation of mRNA overexpression, which lead to not formation of DNA and leading to cell death. Now, you know, these are the age-related common diseases we face in our elderly persons, which are mostly due to inflammation or oxidative state, telomere shortening, DNA damage, cellular senescence, reduced autophagy, and immunosenescence. And the same thing, normal cell active influenced by so many factors leading to senescent cells and automation of cell senescence leading to cell death. Now, what are the anti-aging therapies? Pharmacological, like senolytics, dasatinib, nabitocloside, quinacetin, nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide proteases, acarabose, oxalic acid, and daprenil. And minocycline, doxycycline, these are also antibiotic, but they have got anti-inflammatory and antioxidant property. They counteract the aging process. Vitamin C, we all know, activator of AMP pathway, like metformin, thiazolidine, GLP-1 receptor agonist, etc. And inhibitor of growth hormone and IGF-1, that is by pegvisomab, somatostatin analog, and monoclonal antibodies. Anti-aging rapamycin and mTOR inhibitors, they slow down the aging process and promote longevity. And activators of sirtuin. Sirtuin is an important protein which increases the lifespan. Most important is the resveratrol, found in natural like grapes, skin, blueberries, mulberries, and red wine. And senolytics, I have already told you. And non-pharmacological like calorie restrictions, by reducing the signal strength of the IgA pathway and fostering C2 inactivity, it protects against conditions like obesity, heart disease, and cancer. So you have to do a calorie restriction. Foods such as baked food, alcohol, and energy drinks are proved to be pro-inflammatory decreases the lifespan. And foods like turmeric, nuts, avocados, strawberries, blueberries, seaweeds, derivative dark chocolates, green tea, mushrooms, and salmon antioxidants have anti-aging property. Now, exercise is the most important thing we forget many times. Reduces overall risk of death, prevents age-associated muscle degeneration, improves cardiopulmonary outcome, enhances balance, efficient motor coordination, decreases osteoporosis, and increases insulin sensitivity. This is the picture showing how the exercise affects our body in different levels. So, to come to the conclusion, everyone wants to live longer. Aging is a natural process that occurs silently over time and affects the body in many ways. Aging affects almost all organ systems. An attempt has been made to provide an overview of recent advances in the molecular, cellular, and systemic aspects of the aging process. So, longevity medicine is rapidly evolving, aimed at investigating and detecting early biomarkers of age-related disease based on advanced technology. Aging is the driving factor of various age-related diseases. So, aging is as such a problem for the age because many diseases occurs in the elderly persons. Well-being, positive emotions, and diet restriction have zero protective effects and against age-related processes. So, anti-aging is a very promising and yet health challenging field. Now, how long you want to live? That depends upon your choice, how you take your diet, how you change your lifestyle, how you exercise. That will affect your age. In spite of all the mechanisms that are undergoing inside our body continuously, we can modify 75% of our lifespan. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Doctor. I think the delegates are all interested in knowing that how we can go still further. Maybe 100 years shall we cross. Whether that is required, that is the question. Aging is a natural phenomena, but be healthy, that is the point we should be thinking in our mind. If you are unhealthy, there is no meaning in living longer. So thank you very much. A few questions from delegates. And before that, let me introduce Dr. Beena AK. She has come. She was to inaugurate our scientific session and she reached little late. So Dr. Beena, please, you are welcome for today's GSICON national meet here. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you, Dr. Hari. Anyway, very good morning to each and every person who is attending this conference. Sorry for being late. I just entered. I saw my classmate, Dr. Suma, and she was asking me, are you always late as in school days and college days? The thing is that I was just recollecting while I was coming from home. I'm staying hardly 10 kilometers from here. I started around 8 o'clock, but Ernakulam city is famous for traffic block. I didn't anticipate that. One more thing, yesterday during this Malayalam Vrishchika Masa, usually the rainy season is not there. So climate change, I was thinking of that. And the climate change affected the traffic light. It is not functioning. All the vehicles, solar panel, it's not working. So it was a chaos and I couldn't. Sorry, very sorry, though I wanted to hear the decoding agent because I want to live longer. Anyway, very healthy tips doctor has given and we should follow. As always, we say that exercise and lifestyle modification, all these things will definitely we have to follow, sir. All will like to have a longer life. So your talk was very informative and eye-opener for me, especially the telomere is shortening. So now I am thinking of how to improve my lifestyle and get to live longer. Thank you for the beautiful presentation.
I think first thing that we should do is let you recover from your guilt of coming late, and for that the ideal thing is you come for the photograph for lamp lighting with all the dignitaries again. Please come up.
Can I ask a question in the meantime?
Dr. Dash? Yeah. You can't go away without question.
Yes, sir, no, sir. I am ready.
Yeah, so I think if no questions, Dr. Dash will go to that room where there's a photo shoot there, and mementos will be
Dr. Hari,
given. Yeah, there's
I
a
think-
question. Yes.
Actually, it's a very important topic, and everybody is interested in aging, and everybody wants to live longer. But then there are people who have gone to Italy and read something, and that says, "Oh God, let me die young. Oh God, let me die young, but as late as possible." So everybody wants to live young. Sir, the process of homeostasis starts from the age of 30. And that is the time the body reserves, they start constricting. That is the time the hormone levels, they start coming out. That's the time you start losing nephrons. And that is what is the basis of use of antioxidants from the age of 30. According to you, at what age one should start the preparation of heralding the process of aging, and how?
Sir, I have mentioned in one slide that it starts from the zygote, but it manifests after 30. So from the childhood also you should practice as we are doing now to students to do exercise, playground, everything, direction. I have seen people of 9 years having 89 kg weight. So those things I think one should prepare from the childhood itself. After 30 you have to be more conscious because the most of the diseases they appear after 30, most of the chronic diseases. So from unless you have a preparation from the early age, you cannot prevent those diseases. Those diseases has to come. So that's what I have told you. Cannot stop aging. You can only delay the age of onset.
Oh, thank you very much, Doctor. One more last question, please.
I am Dr. Jain from Delhi. Very nicely, aging has been decoded by you, Dr. Das. Congratulations. But we as practitioners always tell you have to do regular exercises, you have to look after your diet, and take preventive measures so that you can be free from diseases or diseases are well under control. But the most important question people ask, are there any drugs? Are there any medicines that we can take to delay our aging? Do you have to say something regarding this?
I have already mentioned there are some anti-aging drugs. They are nothing but they are come from our natural sources like our diet only. And rapamycin and senolytics, they inhibit the reactive oxygen species and prolongs the lifespan. There are so many list of drugs I have already, slide is already changed, otherwise I could have shown you. There are certain drugs, there are many things, but they only delay the aging, but they cannot make you immortal.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Doctor.
Thank you.
Dr. Dash,
Thank you.
please come along with us to
Thank you.
photo finish there.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for the enlightening session.